Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome to The Nicole Speaks, where I give my feedback and commentary to the latest news and entertainment from a positive point of view. If this is your first time here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell so you can get those notifications, and let's get it cracking. Alright guys, so I am back with another video. Now this video is for all my parents out there, even teenagers, whoever is watching this. If you have a younger sibling, you definitely got to be careful with these Ubers and also Lyft. But this situation refers to Uber. So it says, an Uber ride to the gym took a terrifying turn for a South Florida teen after she said she was caught in a possible kidnapping attempt and ended up miles away from her home. So the teenager decided to call up Uber. You know, she needed a ride to the gym. She had a workout session scheduled, and the gym is literally, I say, a few minutes from her home. And once she got into the Uber driver completely ignored her as she was trying to get his attention to let him know he was going the wrong way. Obviously, he know he's going the wrong way. He took her to another part of Miami called Hialeah. It's like it's further south. She lives in North Miami, so it's about a 30-minute drive, I would say, to get to Hialeah. Now, that town is pretty much known, the majority of the people that live in Hialeah are Hispanic. So a lot of them, the majority of them speak Spanish. Some of them don't speak any English, a lot of foreigners. So he knew what he was doing. He was taking her to somewhere totally away from, where she lived at or whatever. But I'm going to let y'all listen to the news clip, and then I'll get into the whole little commentary thing.
When I said anything in the Uber, he wouldn't answer me or even look back at me. And then once we got to the highway, I started freaking out.
That's when she started texting her sister Ashley and sending her their location.
I was terrified. I was angry. I actually ended up in Hialeah, which is 30 minutes away from here, and my doors were on child lock, so I couldn't open them.
Alex says the driver took her to an alleyway near some apartments where he pulled up next to two other men and began speaking in a language she couldn't understand. She says they asked for her phone, but she let them know her sister was on the way. Then Alex says the Uber took her to the Miami Princess Hotel near Miami International Airport.
I saw another man with money in his hand, and he came up close to the car. And then the driver got out and he opened my door for me and asked me to go with him. And I was like, no.
Alex says she realized the door was unlocked now and ran to the hotel to ask for help. She says the driver followed her inside but eventually left.
And then my sister showed up, so I left with her.
The sisters later filed a police report.
So Uber decided to make a statement. They said, what's been reported is deeply alarming. The driver's access to the app has been removed, and we are looking into the matter. So I remember they also said something about this being, his first time doing this, but of course we know there's a first time for everything. So you just really never know. Best thing to do is just keep your children, especially teenagers, doesn't matter if they're 16, 17, it's better just to keep them safe and out of the Uber, you know what I'm saying? Unless you're going to be there with them, an adult or something like that. No matter how big you think your teenager is or how strong you think they are, I mean, it's one thing to be in a car that is just taking you to a whole nother location than where they're supposed to be going. But they also had the child locks on, and she couldn't get out, of course. Some things in a situation like that, someone panics, but she did get in touch with her sister. Thank God for technology, where she was able to, I guess, send her location, maybe track her as to where she was going on the map or whatever through Apple. So you just really never know. You can't underestimate things, especially nowadays with the sex trade, human trafficking, and child exploitation. It's just crazy. So on Uber's website, it says requests from underage riders. To have an Uber account and be able to request rides, a rider has to be at least 18 years of age. Anyone under that age must be accompanied by an adult 18 years of age or older on all rides. It also has a message for drivers to, if a person looks like they're not even of age, not to allow them to come in, or you could check their ID or driver license just to verify their age. And I know a lot of drivers don't do that, because I have some family members who are teenagers, and they have taken Uber by themselves. So you just really and truly never know. Now, this guy, of course, his intentions were 100% negative, and who knows where this young lady would have ended up had she not put into effect her thinking or whatever, and notify her sister. Had technology not been there, she would have been pretty much gone, or probably in a whole nother country right now, or sold to someone, or forced to get into the sex trade, forced to sell her body, forced to prostitute. Who knows? As parents of teenagers, I know that sometimes we're busy at work, or we're not able to drive our children to everywhere where they need to go. But we really have to look at this whole world, how everything is set up, how everything's going. People are showing their true colors more and more every day. People are being more bold in their evilness, and not even caring about the consequences of what could happen, or what would result behind their horrible acts. So that should tell you right there, like, we really and truly have to pay extra close attention. These teenagers nowadays, a lot of parents allow them to go off to their friend's house and do whatever. Some of them don't even check up on their children to see where they're at, or did they even make it to their destination. So we have to be real careful. You just never know. Just imagine your child leaving into an Uber and not coming back, and you not being able to get in touch with them ever again. And you just have to live with that, So to avoid those situations from happening, definitely feel like people should focus more and more. Even with, what's the other part of Uber? The Uber Eats, allowing your children to order food, go outside and, pick up the food or whatever. Like, you just have to really be careful. There was another story of a young girl who was like, I think maybe 10 or 11 years old, or 9, something like that. And she was upset with her grandmother. Her grandmother told her to take the garbage out, which she shouldn't have been upset over that. But nowadays children are very rebellious and disobedient and just flat out lazy. If it involves them having to do something that doesn't involve being on electronics or sitting on their behind. So she left out to take the garbage out, but she never came back. So that there is, it really, I know some teenagers, some children are just disobedient. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much you try to teach them or guide them, but there are some instances where parents have allowed things to go on so long, or a certain behavior, and not checking it, at that moment. And then a child starts to feel like they run things, or they could do what they want to do, So it's like a pattern of the same behavior over and over again. So they become used to that, and they feel like they're entitled to do what they want to do. They feel like they're entitled to hop in an Uber when they want to. They feel like they're entitled to, take out the trash, but at the same time, not come back. And I think they found her the next day. So you just got to be careful. Keep an eye on your children. Hopefully this guy, I'm pretty sure, Uber said they removed him from the platform. But, at the end of the day, you should have his profile or ID or something. And then even if he's using maybe under someone else's name, you have to instruct, well, not even instruct, you have to, even adults, you have to be careful. You have to make sure that person's face matches the driver that's pulling up, because there are people who use other people's accounts. I've had that happen to me before, when I used to catch Ubers. I didn't catch them a lot, but I'd have called Uber a few times, and there are times when the driver just doesn't match. It could be their husband, their wife, or whatever. So it's important to pay very close attention to those things. But anywho, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this situation. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at DNicoleSpeaks. Until next time, don't allow anyone to rob you of your peace. Remember, guys, stay safe, social distance, wear your mask, and please use wisdom.